Hey everyone, welcome back to Apollo Art Analysis. In today's episode, we're going to be studying a piece by the multidisciplinary artist known as Voja, or Voja. And in today's episode, we're going to be discussing the symbolic nature of mirrors and reflections. We're also going to explore the symbolism of large cats. Let's just jump right into it. So whenever you first see this work, of course, you're met with this lone tiger set in the upper central region of the composition. Of course, it stands impossible to miss. It is quite a mystical introduction as well. We do see a reflection kind of translating that in the lower region of the work at hand. Of course, the placement of this figure in center draws our eye within the work, but most convincingly is this hot pink color, right? Against that dark background, it pops out so well, making it absolutely impossible to miss. You combine this with something like a blue, and of course, that creates close to a complementary color scheme. Technically, it is 2/3 of a tetratic, but regardless, this hot pink is the most dominant color in the composition. I think we certainly feel that whenever you look at the work at hand. This work also has some texture, right? We see this everywhere from the outer edges of the composition to the inner region as well. It is kind of hazy. It is mystical. It reminds of a dream in many different ways as well. I think those are all important. It also gives a sense of the tangible to the composition, as if this is a, real photograph. Of course, this is a real photograph. It is a mixed media work combining photography with the digital edits, but, this makes it even more convincing, as if it's floating or standing right before our eyes here. We absolutely love it. But one of the most central elements of this work is this reflection, right? Typically, when we see symmetry, it is a vertical center axis, but this time it is horizontal. This horizontal axis is still close to the center. That, of course, creates the effect of reflection. The still water provides a perfect atmosphere for that. We see this lone tiger who appears to be looking at their own reflection. And I just wanted to ask you guys, how do y'all feel when you view this composition, or what comes to mind when you're looking at this work? Of course, our subject is a large cat, quite a famous and popular one at that. It is the tiger. The tiger, of course, is a symbolism of fierceness, but also grace as well. It is a symbolism of power, but also intelligence. Big cats represent so many different things, from strength, dominance, power, cunning, grace. There's so many different things that go into the symbolism of large cats. The tiger especially inheriting all of those traits. It is incredibly fierce, right? But there is this dual nature. While they are fierce, powerful, and strong, they're also quite intelligent, playful even, and they can be quite graceful as well. So that's important to have that duality. Yes, they are very dangerous animals, but at the same time, they are part of nature, and there is this beauty and this grace that comes from them as well. I think that's important to hold simultaneously when we're looking at this work. Of course, the title of this work as Mirror certainly points to what we're seeing, right? We see this reflection. Of course, the tiger is looking at his own, this brilliant kind of bluish neon, these colors in the composition. It creates this beautiful visual experience. I think we certainly feel that when we're looking at this work. But of course, when you're looking at your own reflection, it's going to be a very introspective experience, right? You're looking at the self. I'm instantly reminded of the Greek myths of Narcissus or Narcissus. I think we certainly see that within the composition at hand, but not the same exact symbolism, only part of that, right? Looking at your own reflection, of course, looking at your own self, contemplating, even being aware of your own nature. Perhaps a tiger is looking at their own reflection, kind of coming to realization about how the world views them. Of course, I'm kind of intellectualizing an animal like a tiger, but regardless, we're just trying to look at the symbolism of the work at hand to try to, dig a bit deeper about what this could represent here. Once again, the title of this work is Mirror, so it has to do with the reflection in some way or another. Both the large cat, most specifically the tiger, and the mirror. You combine both of those, and that's the two main symbols within the work at hand. But regardless, I wanted to ask you guys, what do y'all see when you view this composition, or how do y'all feel when you view this work? Do you agree with the symbolism that I presented today? Do y'all see something different? I really want to know. Let me know in the comments below. Send me a tweet, Instagram, comment, anything like that. Let me know what y'all think of this work. It's absolutely beautiful. The original artist does work with a lot of different large cats. I actually have 2 additional works here. I'm going to bring those in real quick and see what we can learn here. Alright, so the original artist's name, once again, is Voja, or Voja, and the original artist does deal with a lot of big cat symbolism, most specifically the tiger. I do see this quite often in all 3 instances, 1, 2, and 3. These are all going to be tigers, so certainly a very fierce symbol. Perhaps this is the original artist's most favorite large cat, but certainly a very strong symbol, a very fierce symbol, very intelligent symbol as well. For example, the work on the right, it shows that fierceness, that incredible power, strength, rhythm, potential of the large cat. Of course, the tiger, brilliant gold tones as well. The original work that we studied today, of course, this is much more mystical, much more introspective, not as fierce, not necessarily looking at the strength, power, or even danger of the tiger. This is a lot more kind of light. It is a lot more mystical, of course, compared to the original work on the right. We go all the way to the left here. We see this brilliant, ornate, what even appears reminiscent of a chapel or a cathedral. Perhaps that was taken as well. Once again, this is a digital edit, just like the two works on the right here, but you see this sense of dynamism in all three instances as well. Even a simple pose can be quite dynamic, but of course the work on the right and the far left are the most dynamic, the most visual energy that's happening within the compositions. But I just want to bring in these both works here to compared to the original work today to just show Voja's fascination with large cats, most specifically the tiger. We do see this in a lot of the original artist's portfolio. Absolutely love the artist's work. Always a pleasure to study it. So like I briefly mentioned just a moment ago, this is a mixed media work using photography and of course a digital edit. So this creates a very beautiful visual experience, very dynamic, very unique as well. We all feel that when we're looking at this work, but really hope you'll enjoy. We talked about so many different things, from the symbolism of large cats, of course the tiger, fierce, strong, but also intelligent and graceful as well. We talked about the colors within this composition. Of course, pink is the most dominant. Talked a little bit about that aura of that neon, of course, creating that visual energy. Talked about texture. We talked about the reflection, the symbolism of that, the introspective nature of such an act, and so many other things. Like I said, I really hope y'all enjoyed today. If y'all enjoyed, go check out the original artist Voja, really doing some amazing stuff in the digital edit and kind of world of photography, really looking at the landscape on the internet, getting these really good photos, editing them to the utmost ability, creating these mystical, these fierce, these dynamic, these very strong and powerful works. Always a pleasure to study this artist. Once again, really hope you'll enjoy today. If y'all did, go check out the original artist Voja or Voja World. My name's Apollo. This was Apollo Art Analysis, and I'll see y'all on the next episode. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you'd like to support our work directly, please check out our Apollo community tokens. Apollo Art Exchange is an ecosystem of art appreciation which elevates artists each and every day. Thanks for listening.